It's your girl Dawn Feels excited to be here. I'm excited you're here too. Yay, let's celebrate. Okay. Let's also get a little dancing in there. Whoop. That's me expressing how excited I am that you're here. Okay. The name of this is episode, well, the name of the show is Your Every Prayer Answered. And this is season 1, episode 2. And the name of it is Calling What Is Not as Though It Were. Calling what is not as though it were. Let me explain what I mean by that. The Bible tells us something. We're supposed to call what is not as though, that's called having faith. Saying what it is what you're praying for as if it's happening, even though there's no physical evidence of it happening yet. That's where most people get the disconnect with it in their prayer. Like, are you one of the people that get disconnected at that point? Like you one of the people who, a lot of people, they praying for something, or there's some kind of something happening in their life that they don't want. They spend the entire day thinking about it and talking about it at any given chance they can. Like, for example, my sister right now is going through a little financial struggle. So every day she's calling me and talking about this struggle. I keep saying, stop talking about this struggle. Because when you talk about the things that you don't want, you just bring more of that into your life. And it's because this is how we set up. People understand who you are and how you are wired. You are wired as a creator. And in the Bible, it tells us in the beginning, God spoke the words, and those words brought the world into existence. And that's how it is for you. When you speak the words, it brings your world into existence. So when you're speaking negativity or things that you don't want, you're just bringing more of those things into your life that you don't want. So you got to stop. You got to be able to control your thoughts because your thoughts is really important. I remember the first time when I heard about about your thoughts and how important they were. I remember I read somewhere, I think, that you have between 60 and 80,000 thoughts per day, and that most of those thoughts are negative thoughts. And I started thinking, because we're not conscious. If you're not paying attention, you're not conscious of the thoughts that you have. That's why it's very important that you become conscious at all times of every thought that comes into your head. Now, you might not be able to control them when they come in your head, but you control them once they get into your head. And that's what I learned. Like, I can control the thoughts that I have, because when a negative thought comes into my head, I can either dwell on that negative thought, or I can say, I rebuke you, Satan, in the mighty name of Yahushua. I can just say that. I rebuke you. I can get that negative thought out of my head and then change my thought to something positive. And that's what you have to start learning how to do, controlling your thoughts, calling what is not as though it were. One really big example of this. Well, I'm going to start with the smaller example, then I'm going to go to the bigger example. In the Bible, there's an example of a lady who has an issue with blood. She's been I guess, on her period for 12 years. Girl, I feel for you. Imagine having your period every day for 12 years, and the doctors can't do nothing about it. Child, I can't even imagine that. But this woman had that issue. Now the Messiah was coming to her hometown. So she heard about him coming. So what she said was, I'm going to see, I believe that if I get close enough just to touch the hem of his garment, then I will be healed. So that's her calling what is not as though it were. She's saying, if in her head, she's calling the fact that if she touches his garment, she's going to be healed. That's true faith. She just believes that all I got to do is touch the hem of his garment and I'm going to be fit. So in her head, she's saying now, she know he coming to town. And it's like he's a celebrity. Imagine if your favorite celebrity came to town, it's gonna be tons of people surrounding him, right? It's gonna be hard to get close enough to do anything. But she in her head, she was seeing herself getting close enough to touch his garment. And she wasn't even trying to get close enough to have a conversation with him. She wasn't trying to get close enough to kiki gaga with him, or she just wanted to get close enough to touch his hem of his garment. So that's what she did. She got close enough, and when she touched the hem of the garment, she got well. Because she was calling what was not as though it were. All I gotta do is touch the hem of his garment. This is what she's calling out. And I'll be well. Now, right now, she's still bleeding. Right now, she don't even know. Like, there was nothing written down telling her, "Oh, touch the hem of his garment, you'll be well." She didn't even know that. So she was calling what was not as though it were. But one of the biggest examples of this in the Bible is the story of Sarah and Abraham. Let me see. I got a little picture that I want to share. Can I see? Can I video slides? Yeah, hold on, let me see. Let me see. How do I get it? Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see if I get yeah, okay, share my screen. I wanted to it's just a picture I just wanted to show with y'all. I see these pictures that's not it. Not that one. Is that it? Not you. Not you. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. This is Sarah. This is Abraham. And forget the fact that don't he look like Method Man? I thought he looked like Method Man. So I want to show the picture. But this is the story of Abraham and Sarah. Now, this is the best example of calling what is not as though it were in the Bible. Now, if you remember, Abraham was one of the few people in the Bible that they said was God's friend. Okay, so he had a real cool relationship with God. Now, one day he was belly aching about not having any kids. Like he had a lot of wealth. He had accumulated a whole bunch of wealth in his life. He was 90 years old, and he was, just belly aching to God. Like, listen, I don't have any children to leave my stuff to when I'm gone. The only person I can leave it to is my servants and their family, and I would rather leave it to when I'm, to my family. I'd rather this goes down to my family. So God told him that he was not only going to be have one child, he was going to be the father of many nations. He actually took him out and told him to look at the sand on the beach. How many pieces of sand there was? That's how big his family lineage was going to go. Now, right now, Abram has no kids. His name is Abram at this point. Abram has no children. He's 90 something years old. His wife is about the same age. They old, really old. Now you can sit and say, oh, 90 years old. And 90 years old back then was old, but it wasn't our old because they lived to be hundreds of years old. And some people say, oh, that's just biblical garbage, bumble jumble. But no, they lived that long, and we could too if we wasn't fed chemicals every single day that destroys us, and giving medicine that's chemicals that destroy us, and breathing those chemicals that destroy us and they purposely lower our lifespan. So yeah, they lived that much longer. They didn't have the chemicals and stuff that we have today. So anyway, Abram, God said to Abram, the first thing he said when he said that he was going to become the father of many nations was he changed his name from Abram to Abraham. Now, why did he do that? Because Abraham means the father of many nations. So God started having him call himself the father of many nations. Not only was he calling himself, but he was telling his friends and stuff to call him that. Now, I'm sure, see, the Hebrews was very aware of the meaning of names. So I'm sure they was laughing like, Abraham, why you want to call you Abraham? Abram, why you want to call Abraham? You father of many nations. You don't got no kids, man. They like, Tommy, you ain't got no job, man. But they were saying, you got no kids, man. How we going to be calling you Abraham? But he made everybody call him Abraham. He changed his name to Abraham. He wasn't the father of one, but he was having people call him in advance, I am the father of many nations. Calling what is not as though it were. Now, what happened? He became the father of many nations. That's how it works. You have to call what it is that you want into existence. You are the creator of your world. You can either create a positive world You could create a negative world. It's up to you. You can create whatever word you want. But your job is to call what is not as though it were. And then that way you can get what it is that you're praying for. That's how you get your every prayer answered. Now, this coming Saturday, I'm going to invite you to a summit that we have called Your Every Prayer Answered. It's online, it's absolutely free. You don't have to leave your house, you don't have to pay a dime. All you got to do is go to youreveryprayeranswered.com and register. Give your name and your address, your email address, and your phone number, and you'll be given the link to join us on Saturday. It starts at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your every prayer answer. And we're going to be teaching you exactly 10 to 15 steps to make sure that you get all of your prayers answered. So you don't have to sit around and praying for, you got a health issue that you've been praying for every single day and nothing been happening. You've been praying for a financial breakthrough and nothing's been happening. You've been praying for relationships to go right and nothing's been happening. You've been praying and nothing's been happening. And it's not happening because you don't know how to pray. That's it. Sorry to break it to you, but nobody's teaching you. That's why we're having this, because we're going to teach you how to pray effectively. Let's give a shout out for that. So I hope you join me this Saturday at Your Every Prayer Answer Blueprint Summit. All you have to do again is go to youreveryprayeranswer.com and sign up, and I will see you there. So that's the end of Calling What Is Not As Though It Were, which is episode 2, season 1 of Your Every Prayer Answer. I'm your host for the day, and my name is Dawn Fields. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you at the summit. Have a blessed and wonderful day.